Hey guys, and welcome on into another episode of Picks on Net, NHL Picks and Predictions. I'm your host, Terry Edelman, at TPicks over on X, ready to break down the Thursday slate. Bunch of games to go over today, 13 games on the slate. So as usual, I'll be breaking down a bunch of them, 8 of them individually, and then the other 5 at the end of the show, and the rest of the games on the slate segment. Having said that, we will start the show as we normally do, taking a look back at what happened yesterday. And to start with, Mika Zibanejad over half an assist, unfortunately lost. The Rangers, who had absolutely dominated this Blackhawks team for a long time, got shut out. So a bad performance by the Rangers here in a loss. James Van Riemsdyk, anytime goal, unfortunately lost. His streak came to an end. I did cash Detroit money line as my best bet over on Picks and Parlays. 3-0 now in best bets, 2-0 in dog of the days. And then I had Lucas Raymond over half an assist as a premium play that cashed as well. But unfortunately, JVR's streak comes to an end. He had a breakaway. I watched him on the breakaway. And of course, I was really hoping he would score, but he wasn't able to. Carter Verhaeghe was able to score, though. Plus 220. Nice winner here. Verhaeghe scored the first goal of the game. The first goal for Florida and continues to play really well for the Panthers right now. Clayton Keller over half an assist. Unfortunately lost. He didn't get an assist here. He didn't get any points at all. It was the Dylan Guenther line that was really hot here in this game. So 1-3 day on the show, but winning day for me. 3-3 up over just over a unit yesterday. So looking to keep that going here on this Thursday slate. And as I said, a bunch of games for us to go over. So we will get into that very shortly. Cheers from Sweden, Terry. Good luck. Thank you. Thank you for watching as always. Axel Sandin Pellica plus 1,000. You like that, Terry? Robert's right off the bat. He's mentioning Sandin Pellica today. Yes. Great cash for you yesterday. And great for Addison bringing it up. He cashed and hadn't scored very much when I looked at him yesterday, but you guys called him. Hintz and Forsberg for points. We'll talk about those. Yeah, we'll talk about them later on. Addison waving. Hi, Addison. How's it going? Terry, I smashed the like. Thank you, Richie. Everybody be like Richie. Hit that like button. Sabres minus 115 are favorite on the road versus the Canucks. Yeah, that's an interesting game. We'll be talking about that one at the very end. The very end of this. Let's get paid tonight. Cash them out tonight. That's the plan. But we're going to jump right into it here and start with the very first game, which is the Anaheim Ducks and the New York Islanders. The Ducks plus 100 road dogs, Isles minus 120 home favorites, and a total of 6.5 here in this one. This line has moved about 10 cents from this morning to when the show started. Basically because David Rittich is likely to start here. Instead of Sorokin, looks like it'll be David Rittich. 6-3-1, 2.65 goals against average, 900 save percentage. Ville Husso likely for Anaheim, 5-2, 2.83 goals against average, 893 save percentage. Husso has been great. He's won 3 games in a row, stopping 81 of 88 shots. The Anaheim Ducks continue to chug along here. When I look at this game, both of these teams, or how did these two teams do against each other in the past? Well, the Ducks won both meetings last year, 4-1 and 3-1. But the Islanders had won the previous 6. So the Isles overall have had a lot of success against the Ducks. But this Ducks team was a rebuilder during those 3 years when the Isles had success against them. Last year, not so much. 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over 6.5. So surprisingly, we actually see a lot of high-scoring games when these two teams face each other. For me here, give me the draw. Plus 340, quarter unit. I meant to mention that at the beginning of the show. All plays are 1 unit plays unless otherwise clarified. If they're half unit or quarter unit plays, I will put that here on the screen. So the draw, quarter unit, plus 340 here for me. In this one, Anaheim, they've gone to overtime in 2 of their last 3 games. And then the Islanders, they've gone to a shootout in 2 of their last 3 games. The Isles went to a shootout against Vegas in their last game. Both of these teams have won 4 of their last 5 games. Playing great hockey right now. This game just screams draw to me. So we'll take the draw at plus 340 for a quarter unit. And you guys know what's coming next. Give me Beckett, Moneymaker, Seneca. Over half an assist, plus 140 here in this game. The point prop was Sean, a loyal viewer of the show, mentioned earlier this morning. It was minus 112. Between that and when I checked the odds 10 minutes later, it already moved to minus 120. Now I saw it at minus 130 for the point prop. So obviously we're losing value. So I'm going with the assist prop at plus 140. Beckett Seneca has an assist in 8 of his last 9 games. Yes, he scored a goal in 3 games in a row, multiple points in 3 games in a row. The guy's just on an absolute heater right now. So we'll take him over half an assist, plus 140, full unit play here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We'll stick with Beckett Seneca here in this game. Taking a look at some other players that have some value here. Shots on goal, streaks, not a whole lot. Mikael Granlund, over 1.5 shots on goal, minus 115. He's done that in 4 of his last 5 and 8 of his last 10. So Mikael Granlund is shooting the puck quite often. Let's see here. Point props, not a whole lot of value. Matthew Schaefer. 0.3 of his last 5, minus 120. And Jackson Lacombe, a point in 3 games in a row, plus 102. So some value with the defenseman. Point props here. Goal streaks, Beckett Seneca, 3 games in a row, plus 320. If you wanted to go with the goal prop with Seneca, you definitely could. Just for me, because he has an assist in 8 of his last 9 games. And he scored in 3 games in a row. The assist streak goes back a long time. So we'll go with the assist. Will it shock me to see him get a goal and an assist here like he's done in 3 games in a row? No, it won't shock me at all. If you wanted to sprinkle over 1.5 points for Beckett Seneca, I like that as well. Yes, both of these teams, especially the Islanders, have been playing lower scoring hockey recently, but 5 of the last 7 meetings have gone over 6.5. And it will be David Riddick here in that. So if you wanted to look at Seneca over 1.5 points, you could do that as well. Assist streaks, other than Beckett Seneca, Schaefer, back-to-back games, plus 121. And Cutter Gauthier, back-to-back games, plus 149 here in this game. Hello, Terry. Hi, Timothy. How's it going? Hope all is well. Ducks money line plus 110. Yeah, I could see them winning it. Like I said, I like the draw here, and this is a close game. But wouldn't shock me to see the Ducks get the win. Husso was locked in versus the Pens. I think I need to sprinkle Ducks or look live. You could do that as well. You could. You really the GOAT with them stat plays. My boy, keep it going. Thank you, Gerald. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Thailanders. Yes. That's their nickname. Cutter Gauthier over 3.5 shots and goal, plus 136. Slow Isles team against a fast player. I can see it. Geeky and Crosby. Anytime goal today. Not bad looks. Not bad looks. We'll talk about them a little later on. What's up, Terry? Made the live show today. Awesome. Nice to see you, Sweet Pickles. Hope all is well. Ryan Pulak has 4 assists in last 4 games. Who? Yeah, exactly. Who? Obviously one of the Isles defensemen. Yesterday hit 4,000 with $55 Verhaeghe, DeBrincat, Bertuzzi, and the last, the GOAT, Kevin Fiala. Very, very nice, Steven. Very nice. Steven's buying drinks tonight, so everybody go and see him for some drinks. But no, I'm kidding. But we'll go on to our next game. And we've got a few really good games on the slate between some top teams in the NHL. And this is definitely one of them. We've got the Hurricanes minus 115, road favorites. The Capitals minus 105, home dogs, a total of 6 here in this game. How did these two teams do against each other? Washington 3-1 in the last 4 regular season games between these teams. Obviously, they did just face in the playoffs, with the Hurricanes getting the win. 1 over, 2 unders, and 1 push when it comes to the total between these two teams. So not a lot of real advantage or not a lot of streaks there when it comes to the total between these two. How are these two teams doing recently? Well, this is a battle between 2 of the top teams in the Metro. Carolina 18-9-2, Washington 18-9-3. Hurricanes 8-4-1 on the road. Washington 10-5-1 at home. The Hurricanes, this will be their first game after an extended homestand, their first game on the road. The Capitals had their long road trip and then came back and shut out Columbus in a 2-0 win in their last game. When I look at this one here, there's just a ton of value with Alexi Protas. Over half a point plus 120. When Washington games come, I've been betting Alexi Protas his last few starts or the last few games, and he continues to produce. Now, he has been scoring, and he's been scoring an empty net goal. So he's really been making us wait the last couple games to cash, but has been getting the job done. Protas, bear with me for a second here. He has a point in 10 of his last 12 games, and he scored a goal in 4 of his last 5. I believe his goal prop is at plus 330, plus 340. A lot of value on the goal prop, but for me, because I'm getting the point at plus 120, absolutely taking that. He could assist on a goal. He's not going to score empty netters forever, so we'll see what happens there, but 6 games in a row, he has a point. There's just a ton of value with Alexi Protas, who kind of flies under the radar with other Capitals players. Their point props not being plus 120, of course, here. Goalies, almost forgot, but I did it. Brandon Bussey is confirmed for the Carolina Hurricanes, and bear with me for a second. Logan Thompson likely for Washington here. Was I hoping for Frederik Andersen? Maybe a little bit, but can't really expect the Hurricanes to start him very often, especially against this spot against the Capitals. Maybe he'll get the Buffalo or Nashville or a team like that, but yeah, did not expect him to start here against the Capitals. But we will look at other players on streaks here in this game. Shots on goal streaks. Nikolai Ehlers over 2.5 shots on goal, plus 136, 3 games in a row for him. So Nikolai Ehlers is shooting the puck a lot recently. Obviously, we've got Alexi Protas, Shane Gostisbehere for the Carolina Hurricanes. Point in 4 games in a row, 8 of his last 10. He's minus 105 for a point. But really been producing on the power play. Power play point 3 games in a row, plus 240 for Gostisbehere. Obviously, Alexi Protas plus 350 for the goal, 4 of his last 5. As I mentioned, Jordan Staal has scored in back-to-back games for Carolina, plus 400. And then Shane Gostisbehere assist, 4 games in a row, plus 127 for him to get an assist. If you're looking at player props in this game, Alexi Protas for Washington, Shane Gostisbehere for the Carolina Hurricanes in this one. We could see another draw here. Would not shock me to see overtime in this one again, like the first game. LOL. Yeah, you're buying. You are buying. I'm taking Seneca goal today. Oh, okay. I've been living off his assist prop all season, but this kid is scoring now. I also bet him yesterday to win the Calder. Boo! No, I'm kidding. If it's not going to be Wallstedt that wins the Calder, with what Seneca's done for us this year, if it can't be Wallstedt, then I hope Seneca wins because he's been very good to us. Logan Thompson, 1-2, 4.81 goals against average, 861 save percentage, head-to-head versus Carolina. Okay, that must include that includes playoff games. It must. Because the regular season, the Caps have had success against the Canes. No Ryan Leonard out with a broken face and shoulder. Yeah, not a surprise. He's been out a few games. Shane Gostisbehere assist plus 125. Yeah, if you're looking for Canes props, that's the way to go. Nice, Steve. Yeah, very nice. Jordan Staal goals in back-to-back games since he got put in the number one power play unit, plus 350. Okay. Nice stat. Nice info there with the fact that he's on the top power play. Definitely some value with Jordan Staal here in this one. But we will continue on along to our next game, the Montreal Canadiens and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Montreal, plus 100 road dogs. The Penguins, minus 120 home favorites, and a total of 6 here in this one. Jacob Fowler will be making his first ever NHL start for the Montreal Canadiens, calling up their young rookie with the fact that they can't get a save from Jakub Dobish or Samuel Montembeault right now. Fowler, 10-5 with a 2.09 goals against average, 919 save percentage in 15 games down in Laval. Tristan Jarry, 9-2-1 in the season, 2.54 goals against average, 913 save percentage. The last couple of games in November were a little bit rough for Jarry, but has been great in December. 2-0-1, 935 save percentage for Jarry. Jarry's been great. And I'm sure Pittsburgh is going to get calls. I know there's been a lot of rumors about Jarry to Edmonton. We'll see if that eventually gets done. But when I look at this one here, previous games between these teams, Pittsburgh has won the last 6 meetings between these teams. 3 of the last 5 going under 5.5. But even though low-scoring games for the most part, Pittsburgh has scored at least 4 goals in 6 of their last 8 against Montreal. Pittsburgh is not the team Montreal wants to face. For whatever reason, one of the teams they've had trouble with. When I look at this one here, it's tough. I want to take the Penguins, but with the fact that the Fowler's making his first start here, I really think Montreal is going to try their best to play defensively well in front of him. So kind of lean with the under here. And when it comes to the side, this could be another draw spot. We could see some overtime game, over a lot of draws here on tonight's slate, in my opinion. But ultimately, going to stay off of this one. But it'll be interesting to see how Fowler does, because if he plays well in this game, he could definitely take that net away from the other two guys. Guys on streaks here, Ben Kindle over 2.5 shots on goal, plus 140. He's done that in 3 games in a row. Noah Dobson over 1.5 shots on goal, minus 120. He's done that in 3 games in a row, 4 of his last 5. And Lane Hudson over 1.5 shots on goal, plus 111. He's done that in 4 of his last 5 games. Point streaks, Ivan Demidov, 4 games in a row, minus 119. He has some value here. Not a lot of goal streaks, really. Power play point streaks, 3 of 5 games for Slafkovsky, Caulfield, and Suzuki, and 3 of 5 for Sidney Crosby and Erik Karlsson. So both power plays haven't been doing too bad for each team. Assist streaks, Ivan Demidov, 4 games in a row, plus 145. Sidney Crosby assists, plus 115. Back-to-back games with an assist for Crosby. Jump back into the chat here. Thompson was on the winning end of a 4-1 win earlier this season versus the Canes. Yeah. Washington won the first meeting this year after that playoff series revenge. Hey, Tara, best of luck. You too, Bleed. You too. We talk about the Avalanche later on. Crosby 2 points. I'm expecting a bounce back from them after their last game. Crosby 2+ points, plus 250. Yeah, he usually has success against the Canadians. Good luck. Yes. Montreal moneyline plus 100. I could see it. Fowler nerves might give some soft ones early. I could see that as well. There's so much that could happen here. That's why there's just no edge for me here in this one. Tommy Novak, anytime goal? I believe he scored in the last game there. I believe. Let's see here. Why don't I see him on here? I don't see him. I don't know why, but I don't see him for some reason on the sheet. I'll follow Robert. I think they're due for a win. The Habs? Yeah, I can see it. Crosby, anytime goal, plus 180. All right. Crosby is on Mario Lemieux watch. Yes, he's getting close. Points, right? Points, overall point. Tommy Novak was plus 300 last night. Now he's plus 240. He was plus 525 last weekend. Wow. Okay. Novak goals in back-to-back and 3 of 4. Well, why am I not? He's not listed on this on the app that I use. So, mistake by them. He's not listed at all. So, that's why I didn't mention him. Thank you, guys, for mentioning him, Tommy Novak. But we will continue on along to our next game. We've got the San Jose Sharks and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Sharks plus 170. Road Dogs, the Leafs, minus 205 home favorites, a total 6.5 here. San Jose swept the Leafs last year, winning both meetings, which was definitely surprising to see that happen. 3 of the last 5 have gone under 5.5, so usually some lower scoring games. And both meetings that San Jose won last year went to overtime. And I don't have the exact odds here, but San Jose was definitely big dogs like they are tonight in both games against the Leafs last year. So they'll try to make it 3 in a row against Toronto. And if this was a month or so ago, then I would be looking at the Sharks as a road dog. The Sharks were playing really well, and the Leafs were a dumpster fire. But now San Jose's lost 3 of 4, 7-1 to Washington, 4-1 to Dallas, 4-1 to Philly. Did have a 4-1 win against Carolina sandwiched in there. And then the Leafs, 9-4-4 at home now. They've won 4 of their last 5. And big wins, 7-2 against Pittsburgh, 4-1 against Florida, 5-1 against Carolina, 2-0 against Tampa, and a 2-1 shootout loss against Montreal, sandwiched in there as well. When I look at this game from a side perspective, it would have to be looking at the Leafs in some form, but it would have to be the puck line plus 125, and I don't have interest in taking the Leafs on the puck line here. I will refresh so we get goalies here. Dennis Hildeby, likely for Toronto. Because he's been doing so well his last few games, he is now tied with Jesper Wallstedt for the best save percentage in the NHL. He's 2-2-2, 2.15 goals against average, 936 save percentage. Nedeljkovic for San Jose, 4-6-2, 3.02 goals against average, 898 save percentage. For me in this one, we're going back to him again. Give me Colin Graf, anytime goal, plus 425. Another smaller play, quarter unit play here on Colin Graf. He is obviously cashed for us, plus 600 the other night. He has now scored a goal in, bear with me for a second, 3 games in a row. He has scored a goal in and scored against Toronto last year in one of the games that he faced Toronto last year. So great value with Colin Graf once again. I believe he's still on that top line. with Celebrini and Will Smith. So great value. Yes, facing a good goalie and Dennis Hildeby, who's done really well. But San Jose only scored one goal in their last game. It was Graf. So we're going to take him at plus 425. Incredible value here for Colin Graf to find the back of the net once again here in this game. Taking a look at guys with value here. Shots and goal, not a lot here. Point streaks, Will Smith back-to-back games with a point, minus 115. John Klingberg, back-to-back games with a point for San Jose, plus 147. Goal streaks, other than Colin Graf, 2 Toronto players have scored in 3 of their last 5. Scott Lofton, plus 850, and Austin Matthews, plus 110. No assist streaks, no power play point streaks. Will Smith has an assist in back-to-back games, plus 172, as does John Klingberg, plus 190 here in this game. Not a lot of guys on a lot of streaks. We've seen lower scoring games for both of these teams recently. I would kind of lean with the under too, at a 6.5 here. I would lean with the under in this one. Wow, JD, I got him at plus 325. Wow. There you go. Erik Karlsson assist, plus 100. I like it. Bleed is back. We gonna see an Andy appearance too at IceX. IceX is around. I think he works nights, so this is not the best time for him. Don't expect to see Andy back. Just it is what it is, I guess. Reached out to him, but did not hear back. And then Bleed has been in the chat this year. Obviously obviously he's been paying the bills for me as of late. Exactly. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Sharks were plus 217 and plus 250 last year. Thank you for that. Thank you. Jonathan has amazing stats whenever you need them. Colin Graf, I agree. Plus 400. Yes, Hal. Yes. Sandwich game for the Leafs coming off games against Tampa, Montreal, and have Edmonton on Saturday. Sharks money line and first goal. Sharks have opened the scoring on the road in 3 of 4. I like it. Give us a Colin Graf goal to start off the game, and I will be in a really happy mood. And here we go to help that. Colin Graf, Sharks first goal in 3 straight. First goal of the game twice. Anytime goal plus 425, which I'm on. San Jose first goal plus 1,200. Love it. Love it. Addison loves it as well. And yes, Hal bring it up. Plus 1,400 for Graf. First period. Cashed in the last game. Very nice, guys. Leafs team total over 3.5, minus 120. Sharks are not that good on the road. Yeah, I agree. You could parlay Graf and Smith for 1 point. Should be plus money. Is Graf point available? I don't believe it is. Unless it may be available on a couple books, but I don't see it available currently. If Sharks score, it's most likely that line. I agree with that. Austin Matthews has 13 goals in 15 games versus the Sharks, but he hasn't played Askarov yet. Interesting. Okay. Hey, Terry. Hey, Lay Blatch. How's it going? I try to be more active, but with work and kids, I only have time to cap. Not much online time. When I get a little time, I try to support Terry. Thank you, Bleed. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. But we'll move on along to our next game, which is obviously I find it interesting, but Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild, 2 of the top teams in the NHL. Obviously, Colorado's number 1, but I believe Dallas is still number 2. I think the Wild is still in the top 5 there, but Dallas minus 150 road favorites. The Wild plus 125 home dogs, a total of 5.5 here in this one. If you follow me over on X, I tweeted out yesterday when this line opened with Dallas at minus 120. This game was not priced correctly. Dallas 11-4 on the road this year. They've been absolutely fantastic on the road. 9-0-2 in the last 11 meetings between these teams. They've owned the Wild. I had full intention of taking the Stars at minus 120, but the line moved. So I decided to wait because if I'm going to release a play to clients, I'm not going to do it when the line is moving so much. So it was at minus 135. I wanted to see what happens. It has continued to move around minus 150 now for the Stars. So now this game is priced more correctly instead of minus 120. So I was going to look at the under here. Both teams been going under recently. Wait for 1 second. The Stars have gone under 5.5 in 4 of their last 5. The Wild have gone under 5.5 in 7 of their last 9, and 4 of the last 5 meetings between these teams has gone under. So everything points to the under. Should be Jake Ottinger in net. 8-3 against Minnesota in his career. 2.19 goals against average. 926 save percentage. It will not be Jesper Wallstedt starting for the Wild. The first game in I think 13 games that the Wild are breaking their goalie switching back and forth. They're going with Gus back-to-back games here in this one. So the fact that it isn't Wallstedt, it is Gus in net, keeps me off the under here. Rarely do I want to take an under 5.5. Now, all the stats point to the under here. The Wild are banged up. Zuccarello going out of the lineup is huge because the Wild's hot streak started when Matt Zuccarello came back. Now he's out. It'll be an all-Russian top line for the Wild. Yurov, Kaprizov, and Tarasenko. The way I look at this game, I think the Stars win this game. I still do think it's an under, but ultimately not getting to either here in this one. And I do have to thank John Hines a little bit. Obviously, you guys know I'm on Jesper Wallstedt to win the Calder Trophy, and I'm on him to win the Vezina Trophy. Kind of helps that he doesn't have to face this Dallas Stars team in this spot. So I'm fine with Gus starting here. Dallas has owned the Wild. Dallas should definitely, with all the Wild injuries right now, Dallas should win this game. I would use their money line as a parlay piece at this point. And I have been taking the Stars in regulation a lot recently. I would not do that here, though. 2 of the last 4 meetings went to overtime. I could see this being a close game. As a Wild fan, I'm hoping they can get to overtime and at least get a point. But ultimately, I think Dallas wins this game in a close, low-scoring game, for sure. For some reason, I like the Sharks' money line. All right, there you go. You have to wait until closer to game time, and then Graph Point may shop. That's true. Sometimes books put it up late at the end. Wild money line. Wow. Okay. I can't do that. Not against Dallas, but the day does end in Y, Terry. Yes, so I probably should be on Jason Robertson anytime goal. I'll talk about props here in this game in just a second. Robertson hints point each, minus 103 on FanDuel. Not a bad look. I don't blame you. Leafs can't be trusted for any money line. And like I said, the Leafs lost both games last year against the Sharks. And when Leafs have been big home favorites in the past, they've been notorious for blowing those games. So, yeah. Stars puck line, plus 175. 7 of the Stars' 8 wins over Mini have been by 3 or more goals. All right. Light show, Terry? Light show? What do you mean? I'm on Stars puck line. Can't talk you off it. What's up, Terry? Good luck, everyone. Not too much. What's up with you? I put over 5.5 goals and 1.5 goals for Wild. Oh, my God. Hey, you do you. You do you. But the stats tell me under. But I'm not getting to it. Lots of plays on today's slate. I'll be watching this one, obviously, but as a fan, but money-wise, Kaprizov anytime goal, I could see it. No Wallstedt, it's not going to be close. We'll see. Gus isn't an auto fade. No over. Yeah, Richie doesn't like overtime. I don't know, Richie. I don't know. As a Wild fan, I'm hoping this game can get to overtime, but probably not. Wild have been good to me on puck line this year, pulling for Wallstedt. Yeah, he won't be playing today. He's not in net, which is good for me and my Calder bets. Not so good for the Wild winning this game. Boldy scored the Wild's first goal against Dallas in each of the last 2 games, both against Oettinger. Okay. And 3 of the last 6 meetings. 9 of Boldy's 16 goals have been the opening goal for Minnesota. All right. So Boldy. Kaprizov has scored the Wild's first home goal 5 times. Okay. Minnesota could win here. Any team can win. Any team can win on any night. This is like if the Stars are going to lose a game, the Wild have been a very good team this year. Maybe this is it, but yeah, I can't recommend anyone putting their money on the Wild in this situation against the Dallas Stars. I really think this game is going to be good regardless. I hope so. Too many injuries. Zucchi, Rossi, Middleton, Foligno. Yeah, it's just too much. Losing Zuccarello really hurts. Damn West Coast. That's a Terry nugget. Not sure what you're saying, but it's okay. But we'll move on along to our next game. No, actually, rewind. I didn't mention players in this game for streaks. Shots on goal, streaks, not a whole lot recently. Guys with value. Point props. Guys on streaks right now are all Dallas players. Robertson and Hintz both have points in 4 games in a row. A good parlay pieces together. Someone mentioned earlier there. Not a bad look. Johnston has a point in 3 games in a row, 4 of his last 5. A good parlay piece as well. Miro Heiskanen has a point in 4 games in a row, minus 123. It's a little bit of value there with him for a point. Goal streaks, Robertson, 3 of his last 5, 7 of his last 10. Started to cool off a little bit, but still has been scoring recently. Against Minnesota, 4 of his last 5 games, he hasn't scored against the Wild. Now, the previous 4 or 5 games, he scored. So we'll see what happens there. Power play point streaks, not a whole lot. And assist streaks, Johnston, 3 games in a row, 4 of his last 5, plus 136. And Rantanen, but there's no value at minus 137 with his assist prop here. I'll go back to the chat. Over 1.5 goals third period when Dallas visits Minnesota is 13-0. Wow. So usually a high scoring third period. Glad I'm staying off the under. Rantanen over 1.5 points plus 171. All right. But next up, we got the Detroit Red Wings and the Edmonton Oilers. Detroit plus 150. Road dogs. The Oilers minus 180. Home favorites, a total 6.5 here in this one. Detroit, my best bet yesterday, had a 4-0 win. And I was thinking, this is going to be easy sailing to cash my best bet. But then Detroit took basically the second half of the game off. And Calgary scored 3 goals, and we're very close to tying it. So Detroit should be pretty rested here in the second night of a back-to-back, with the fact that they took the second half of yesterday's game off. Cam Talbot, 9-4-2, 3.01 goals against average, 883 save percentage. Stuart Skinner confirmed, 10-8-4, 2.91 goals against average, 886 save percentage. Pretty similar numbers between both goalies here in this one. How have these two teams done against each other in the past? Edmonton, 5-1-2 in the last 8 meetings. However, Detroit has won back-to-back against the Oilers. Surprisingly lower scoring games. 1 over 3 under, for a total 6.5. 1 over 4 unders. 4 of the last 6 have gone to overtime between these two. For whatever reason, A lot of close games between these teams. We end up seeing overtime. When I look at this one here, I want to take Detroit again. I want to go right back to Detroit with just the value with Detroit here. Edmonton should not be minus 180 favorites here against the Red Wings with how they played overall, not looking specifically at the second half of yesterday's game. Detroit did beat Edmonton 4-2 in the previous game this year in Detroit. I do lean with Detroit here, but I'm not going to get to it on the second night of a back-to-back, but there is value with them. I'm going back to him again. Didn't score last night, but I'm going back to him again. Instead of a full unit, going to a quarter unit here with JVR. Anytime goal, once again, plus 500. He obviously did not score yesterday, but I believe it's now 6 of his last 8 games he has scored a goal in. So just incredible value with JVR. Now has not scored in 6 games in a row against Edmonton, but JVR has not been on a streak like he is now in a long, long time. I don't even remember the last time he's been on a streak like the one he's on now. So we'll go back to him. Small quarter unit play, anytime goal, plus 500 here in this one. Shots on goal streaks. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins over 1.5 shots on goal, minus 125. 4 of his last 5 games. Draisaitl over 2.5 shots on goal, minus 119. He's done that in 4 of his last 5. And then McDavid over 3.5 shots on goal, plus 168, 3 games in a row. Darnell Nurse over 2.5 shots on goal, plus 152, 3 games in a row. So some guys with value on their shots on goal streaks. Point props, DeBrincat 5-game point streak. He's been hot, minus 135 for a point. Patrick Kane, point in 8 of his last 10, 4 of his last 5. He's minus 120 to get a point here. And Patrick Kane likes facing the Oilers. In his last 6 games against Edmonton, he has a point in 5 of those 6 games, multiple points in 4 of those 6 games, including back-to-back games with 2 points against the Oilers. So, and most of those are assists. He has at least 1 assist in 5 games in a row against Edmonton. Sorry, in 5 of the last 6 against Edmonton, plus 156 for an assist. We just saw him assisting on DeBrincat goals last night. Honestly, as I look at it, I want to take Patrick Kane for an assist. Definitely lean that way. Goal streak, still narking back-to-back games, plus 185. DeBrincat 3 of 5, plus 190. Draisaitl 3 of 5, plus 125. And McDavid 3 of his last 5, plus 145 here in this one. Power play point streaks, McDavid, Draisaitl, Bouchard, 3 of their last 5 games. Assist streaks, quite a bit here. If you're looking for assist streaks, this could be the good game. Raymond, 4 of his last 5, plus 105. DeBrincat, 3 games in a row, 4 of his last 5, plus 184. Evan Bouchard, assist in 3 games in a row, 4 of his last 5, minus 125. Matthias Ekholm, assist, plus 206, 3 games in a row, 4 of his last 5. And then obviously I mentioned Kane already for an assist. So hopefully, if you're betting some props here, hopefully we get a high-scoring game. I could see the over. Previous games have gone under between these teams, but this seems like it's going to be a 5-4 type of game, in my opinion, here in this one. But we will go back to the chat here. Jason Robertson over 3.5 shots on goal, plus 106. All right. Going back to Ranton over 2.5 points like last game. Whoa, Richie. Oilers 4-0 against opponents when playing very next game at home after a loss at home this season. Bounce back game, Terry. Okay, there you go. I'm not on Detroit, so fine with me. Oilers money line. Would have to be a parlay piece for me at minus 180, but Axel Sandin Pellick anytime goal plus 1100. Why not? Hey, if you want to sprinkle on it again. Red Wings on a second back-to-back. Yes. But like I said, basically took the second half of yesterday's game off. Believe they had like one shot in the second half of the second period, and it was all Calgary in the third. Larkin anytime goal, DeBrincat anytime goal. Not bad looks at all. Not bad looks. I'm taking Drake Batherson goal tonight. He's streaky and played well last two games with 2 goals. All right. I will be talking about the Ottawa game in the segment at the end of the show. Coming up soon. Talbot versus old team. Yes, Talbot versus old team. Patrick Kane is on a 500 goal watch for number 500. So maybe he scores here. And that's what I hate is when you take an assist prop and they score. It's really, really, really frustrating. So I'm not on his assist prop here, but we'll see what happens. I probably should be. Kane over 2.5 shots on goal, plus 135. All right. Lucas Raymond assist, plus 100. Cashed in that yesterday. Not a bad look. Bouchard over half a turnover, minus 110. Sign me up. Where is that at? The book of Jonathan? I'll take that. I'll take those odds. Red Wings team total over 2. I think everyone in the chat would take those odds. Red Wings team total over 2.5, minus 130. I could see it. Like I said, I think high scoring game here. Next 2 opponents for Kane are Oilers and back to Chicago at home. I think he I don't think I think he breaks the record against Chicago. It would just be a storybook for him to do that against Chicago, for sure. I would take him for a goal the next 2 games, and if he doesn't, take him for a hat trick versus Chicago next game. Oh, he's 3 goals away from 500. Okay, so not quite there yet. Okay. But we will continue on along with our next game. The Florida Panthers, plus 195, road dogs. The Colorado Avalanche, minus 240, home favorites, a total 6.5 here in this one. If this was before the season started and you told me that I was going to get Florida plus 195 against the Avalanche, I would be all over the Panthers at these odds. All over them. But that's before the season started. What we've seen this year, these odds make some sense. The Avalanche have been the best team in the NHL, and they are off a loss in their last game. So I really do think that this is going to be a bounce back spot for Colorado. Florida obviously played last night, 4-3 win against Utah. 3 games in a row for Florida, and they're starting to score some goals. 7-6 against Columbus, 4-1 against the Islanders, 4-3 against Utah. Colorado coming off a loss, but it was a shootout loss, 4-3 shootout loss to Nashville. The Avalanche 4-game road trip. Now they're back home, 11-0-2 at home this year are the Avalanche. Danil Tarasov, unconfirmed, but he should be in net. 3-4-1, 2.47 goals against average, 9-11 save percentage. Surprisingly, better numbers than Bobrovsky. Mackenzie Blackwood likely here, 8-1-1, 2.21 goals against average, 9-20 save percentage. He's been fantastic for Colorado. When I look at this game here, I was going to stay off. Now, you guys know I'm a streaks bettor. Normally, when somebody cashes for me, normally I'm going to go back to them the next day or the next game for them, which is what I'm doing here with Carter Verhaeghe, anytime goal plus 240, full unit play. Why I was considering staying off of Verhaeghe here is because Florida is facing Colorado here off a loss. I expect a pissed off Avalanche team. I expect them to come to play here. Now, looking at previous games between these teams, Colorado won both games last year. 4 of the last 6 have gone over 6.5. I do think we get goals here. Taking Verhaeghe, he scored in 4 games in a row against the Colorado Avalanche. So he's had success against Colorado. He scored a goal in 6 of his last 7 games. He's averaging 3.83 shots and goals, so almost 4 shots and goal per game. I have to take him with the fact that he scored in 6 of 7. He scored in 4 in a row against Colorado, plus 240. Couldn't pass up on Verhaeghe. I intended to, but once I saw his numbers against Colorado, I had to stick with him. Carter Verhaeghe, anytime goal, plus 240 here in this one. Avalanche props. I don't believe I bet an Avalanche prop all season long. And the same thing with the Oilers. And it's just that it's tough to find value, especially with Colorado with how they played this year. It's really tough to find value on their props. Having said that, Nathan MacKinnon over 4.5 shots on goal, plus 129, 6 games in a row. He has at least 5 shots on goal and 7 of his last 10. Carter Verhaeghe over 2.5 shots on goal, plus 105, 6 games in a row for him, over 2.5 shots on goal. MacKinnon, Verhaeghe, I would not talk anyone off looking at their shots on goal props. Carter Verhaeghe point, minus 135, 7 games in a row. If you wanted to go that way, you could. Lundell point, 3 games in a row, 4 of his last 5, plus 102. Brock Nelson has some value for Colorado. 4 of his last 5 games with a point, minus 105. Marty Necas over 1.5 points, plus 173. 3 of his last 5 games. Brent Burns, over half a point, plus 149. Back-to-back games for Burns. Obviously, I mentioned Verhaeghe. Brock Nelson has scored in back-to-back games for Colorado, plus 340. So he does have some value there. MacKinnon and Makar, back-to-back games with power play points. Should not surprise anybody. Plus 105 for MacKinnon, plus 135 for Cale Makar. Assist streaks, Makar, 4 games in a row, but minus 140 for his assist. Example of Avalanche props. And there are guys with value, as I mentioned with Brock Nelson. Who you don't get value on is Makar and MacKinnon, and most of the time Necas. Necas assist that wasn't Makar assist that I mentioned. It was Necas, 4 games in a row, minus 140. Makar has an assist in 3 of 5 for the Avalanche. So I like Colorado in this game, but I'm taking a Florida goal prop. Give me Verhaeghe anytime goal here in this one. I like the over in this game or in the last one. Detroit Edmonton, I could see goals there. I could. This line is way off. Yeah, I guess. Panthers on the second of a back-to-back over 6.5, and Avs money line, my early look. Yeah, I agree. Is it Tarasov? It should be, yes. It should be. But not confirmed. Avs first period and second period puck line. Florida back-to-back elevation. Horrible spot for the... Yes, it is. It is. I'll take Panthers. Colorado no longer the dominant type. Last 2 games have not been Colorado's best. Florida's hot. Colorado's cooled off. Panthers are 4-1 in back-to-back games. Wow. Okay. I could see it. If you got a book that pays money line early, up 3 goals, example, you could do that. It's all whatever books you have access to. 4 goals in 7 games versus Blackwood. Okay. So some history against the Avalanche and some history against Blackwood. He's 4-4 against the Panthers. All right. Exactly. That's a good look on Verhaeghe. Yeah. You just have to with the way he's playing right now. New dad power, somebody mentioned. A coin toss game. I will take the dog. All right. I could see it. What's up, TE? Hey, Swag. How's it going? Come join us on YouTube. Terry Edelman Picks. Come join us on YouTube. But if you want to chat on Twitter or on X as well, that's fine. Avs draw plus 350. Maybe. I don't know. I really don't like this situation for the Florida Panthers. Just the second night of a back-to-back, as someone mentioned, in elevation, and the fact that Colorado lost their last game. I could see this as a beatdown spot, but not getting into it overall. 86% of the money is on the Avalanche. I'll take what the casino wants. Roar, go Panthers. There you go. Avs over half a power play goal. Colorado 11 power play at home. Florida number 32 PK on the road. Wow. Available at DK. Very nice stats there, Jonathan. What's good, everyone? Hey, OG. But final game to break down, and then I'll have the other 5 games that I didn't break down. As I said at the beginning of the show, big slate today. Buffalo Sabres, minus 115 road favorites. Vancouver Canucks, minus 105 home dogs. Total of 6 here in this game. Take a quick look at goalies and see if we have anything. No one yet confirmed. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen unconfirmed. Thatcher Demko unconfirmed. Luukkonen, 2.91 goals against average, 884 save percentage. Demko, 2.8 goals against average, 903 save percentage. So very similar numbers between the two. How are these two teams doing recently, or how they've done against each other? We'll start with that first. Vancouver, 4-1 in the last 5 meetings, and 3 of the last 4 have gone under 5.5. So usually some lower scoring games with the Canucks finding a way to win. But I'm not so sure about that here. Buffalo has been an over machine lately. 4-3 overtime against Edmonton, 7-4 loss to Calgary, 4-1 loss to Winnipeg, 5-2 loss to Philly, 5-1 win against Winnipeg. But the Canucks, they've lost 4 of their last 5, but I think it definitely goes back further than that. And they scored 1 goal against LA, a 2-1 overtime loss, 1 goal against Colorado, 3-1 loss, 1 goal against Utah, a 4-1 loss. They beat the Wild 4-2, which was just a bad game by Volstead, and then lost 4-0 to Detroit. So the Vancouver Canucks offense, other than that one game against the Wild, has been pretty much inexistent recently. But this is a great spot for them against the Sabres. When I look at this one, I really lean with the over here in this game. And there's one prop that I'm still looking at. I'm still thinking about it, and that's Josh Doan here in this game. He's played the Canucks 3 games and has yet to get a point against them. But Doan is red hot right now. 5 of his last 6 games with a point. 2 of those games he had multiple points. Minus 112 to get a point here. Minus 115 at other spots. I think there's value with Doan. I do. He's been playing very well for the Sabres. And that was in the you lost Peterka, but you got Doan and you got Kesselring. I think in the end, it's going to be a win for Buffalo. I'm really high on Josh Doan. I think he's going to be a great player in his career. Maybe, hopefully for him, he leaves Buffalo if Buffalo doesn't get it together eventually. Hopefully that comes soon, but we haven't seen it yet. Doan on the second line with Benson and Kozak. Tuck, Thompson, and Krebs on the top line for the Sabres. Lean Josh Doan point, but did not get to it at this point in time. We'll take a look at other guys on streaks here in this one. Shots and goal streaks. Kiefer Sherwood over 2.5 shots and goal plus 148. 4 of his last 5 games. Connor Garland over 2.5 shots and goal plus 105. 4 of his last 5 games. Other than Doan, Alex Tuck, Rasmus Dahlin on point streaks for their last 5, but minus 150, minus 155 would have to be parlay pieces. Same thing with Thompson. He's on a point streak here, but minus 190 for him to get a point. Goal streaks, Alex Tuck and Tage Thompson, both on that top line. Both have scored in back-to-back games. Plus 225 for Tuck, plus 150 for Thompson. Power play point streaks, Rasmus Dahlin 3 games in a row with a power play point, plus 185. Back-to-back games for Tage Thompson, plus 200. And Josh Doan, plus 300 for a power play point, 3 of his last 5 games. And then assists, Rasmus Dahlin 3 games in a row with an assist, minus 123 here in this game. Go back to the chat here. See what people think here. I'm on the YouTube chat now. Yes. Awesome. I liked the video. Golfing Stars fan. Thank you. Everyone be like Golfing Stars fan. Hit that like button. OG Swag already way ahead. I love it. I don't hate the draw on the Avs, Robert. I could see 3-3 end of regulation. Me too. I could see it. But staying off. Over 1.5 goals first period is 4-1 when Canucks off a loss at home. All right. Best of luck tonight, Terry. Got to head out. Smash like. Thank you, Bleed. Best luck to you as well. Have a good day. Kiefer Sherwood, 3+ shots a goal, 5 cover 5 and 1 games. The trade talks have started up. 5 of 6. Yeah. He's trying to impress. Because he probably wants to be traded. So he's trying to impress other teams. Buffalo will never get it together. I hope not. I hope they do, because Buffalo Sabres fans have been through a lot. Bowen Byram plus 600. He's from BC. All right. I think Sabres will make the playoffs. Wow. I don't. But the East is kind of wide open, so maybe. Wasn't Evander Kane a Sabre? I think so. I can't remember. I think he was. Yeah, he might have been. But if he was, revenge is not. It's been a long time. Tyler Myers also. Yeah, he was. My bets today, Avs and Oilers puck line. Senators over 6.5. All right. We'll be talking about that game in just a second. Hope everyone is doing well. What's up, Robert? Colby, Golfing, Terry? You too, OG. You too. But final segment of the show, other games on the slate. Quickly going over the 5 games that I did not break down. Ottawa and Columbus. Ottawa, 4-1 in the last 5 meetings. 3 of the last 4 going under 5.5. So some very low scoring games between Ottawa and Columbus in the past. But definitely not 2 teams I would want to go near the under with at all. So definitely not going near total. Same with the side. Both teams have not necessarily been playing well recently. Let's see quickly if we have any guys on streaks, any kind of big streaks to mention. Not a whole lot when it comes to goal, assists, points. Not much. So Ottawa, Columbus, a pass. Tampa Bay, New Jersey. Tampa Bay 6-1-1 in the last 8 meetings. 2-2-1 to a total of 6. But Tampa scored a lot. Their team total over 3.5 in 6 of the last 8 games between Tampa Bay and New Jersey. But I want no part in this game. Both of these teams come into this game not playing very well at all. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. But both teams snapped their losing streak with a win in their last game. Tampa 6-1 against Montreal. New Jersey 4-3 against Ottawa. Timo Meier taking a leave of absence, I believe, or he at least won't be in the lineup for the foreseeable short-term future, I believe, with a family health concern. That's a big loss for the Devils, especially against a team like Tampa Bay that they've really struggled against. I think Tampa wins, but I have no interest in betting this game. Low-scoring games before these teams' last games, which were high-scoring. So ultimately going to stay off. Looking at guys with value when it comes to player props. Let's see here. Not a whole lot when it comes to points or goals or power play points or assists. Not really any kind of big streaks here in this game. As I said, both teams have not been scoring a lot recently, so it makes sense. Vegas Golden Knights and Philadelphia. Vegas 5-0-1 in the last 6 meetings between the teams. 4 of the last 5 going over 6.5. So usually high-scoring games between Vegas and Philly. 2 of the last 3 have gone to overtime. And this is another game where I could see the draw. I could see the draw here. Philadelphia has been a good overtime team this year, but really the Vegas Golden Knights, 3 of their last 4 games, they've gone to overtime, 14, 6, and 9 on the season. So when they do go to overtime, they tend to lose a lot. 7, 2, and 5 on the road for the Vegas Golden Knights. Philly's been alternating wins and losses. They are off a win in their last game. So we'll see what happens here. Looking at players on streaks here for Vegas, Philadelphia. Mark Stone, point, is a great parlay piece. 13 games in a row with a point for him. Connect Me, 5-game point streak, minus 160. Good parlay piece. Marner, 3 games in a row. He's heating up. Shea Theodore, point, 4 games in a row, plus 111. He has some value. Dorofeyev, plus or minus 105, 3 of his last 5. Jack Eichel over 1.5 points, plus 172, 3 games in a row for Eichel. Konechny has scored in 3 games in a row for the Flyers, plus 235. He has some value on his goal prop. Nothing really with power play points. Assists, Mark Stone assists, minus 125. So right around my cutoff point. 5 games in a row with an assist. Ultimately not going to get to it with a huge slate here. Marner, Eichel, 3-game assist streaks, 4 of their last 5, both minus 135 for an assist. Shea Theodore, plus 153, an assist in 3 of his last 5 games. Boston, Winnipeg. Winnipeg 3-1 in the last 4 meetings. Boston had won the previous 6. So Boston had a lot of success against Winnipeg, not so much recently. 2 overs, 1 under, 1 game finished with 6 goals in recent meetings. Boston are pass here. The Bruins have been very good to me recently as a dog. Once again, a dog here in this game. Winnipeg not playing well. When Hellebuck comes back, maybe that'll be time to start looking at the Jets again. But right now, the Jets are a pass or fade team for me. Victor Arvidsson over 2.5 shots in goal, plus 152. 4 of his last 5 games. Velarde, 4 games in a row with a point, minus 132. Bruins players, Lindholm, a point in 4 of his last 5, plus 110. Pavel Zacha, a point in 4 games in a row, plus 106. Geeky, no point in his last game, had his point streak snap, minus 125. 8 of his last 10, though. He has been playing very well for Boston all year long. Connor and Geeky both have scored in 3 of their last 5. Kyle Connor plus 130, Geeky plus 190. Assist streaks, Connor, 4 games in a row, minus 124. Elias Lindholm, an assist in 3 games in a row, 4 of his last 5. He's plus 194. Pasternak, Scheifele, both 4 of their last 5 games with an assist, minus 105 for Pasta, minus 113 for Scheifele. St. Louis and Nashville. St. Louis 4-0 in the last 4 meetings. The last 3 all under 5.5. The previous 6 all over 6.5. So it used to be really high scoring games between the teams. Now we've seen lower scoring games. If you think I'm getting to a side between St. Louis and Nashville, you don't know me very well. Pass. No interest at all. Player props. If I was getting to something, it would be Luke Evangelista, over 0.5 point, minus 118. 4 of his last 5 games that he has a point in. Pavel Buchnevich for the Blues has also been hot recently. No goal streaks, no power play point streaks. Assists, Evangelista, 4 of his last 5 with an assist, plus 153. Here, and I believe that is it. The rest of the games on the slate. Now we'll jump back into the chat. Marchenko and Batherson point parlay. Batherson always strong versus Columbus. There you go. Why did I not mention those guys? Let's go back to that game. Oh yeah, somehow I skipped through player points in that game. Batherson point, minus 135, 4 of his last 5. Yeah, Batherson and Marchenko, minus 145, minus 170. So not a lot of value as single plays, but some value with as parlay pieces for those two. Did the Ducks play Philly on this trip? Because Gauthier said I'm not going to play for the Flyers, remember? Yeah, I'm not sure if they do or not, but that'll be a good revenge spot. Is Carter Hart starting? I'm not sure. But actually, let's go look. Let's go look. He should actually, if I'm going to, I would assume that he is going to start. No, Akira Schmid confirmed. So Carter Hart will not be facing his former team. I guess Vegas wants to pass on that. Schmid and Hart has started back-to-back games. So now Schmid starts 10-2-4, 2.35 goals against average, 903 save percentage. For the Hart has been very good as well. As I said, I could see the draw there. Vegas will probably beat your Flyers. They have had success against your Flyers, but hey, the Flyers have been doing really well this year. What's the player point ladder today? I'm sorry, Mr. Stars fan. I know we were chatting about that on X. Definitely no time for me to look at that today. Huge slate, but huge slate. Skorofeyev has 3 goals in 3 games versus Philly. All right. I like the over in Boston. I could see that. What site or app do you use for prop streaks? I pay for props.cash. Props.cash. Excellent app. Shows you pretty much whatever you want to see. Maybe not player versus goalie, but player versus team. And there's lots of stuff there. Buchnevich 6-game road point streak -146. Definitely worth the monthly fee. Much less of a headache for me than how it used to be, for sure. Oh, wow, he won't face his former team. Yeah, no. Dang. Yes. Vegas would not have Hart start at Philly. It's going to be tough for him without getting berated on the bench. That's true. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you too, OG Swag. But that's today's show. Thank you for watching. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. If you're looking for premium plays, head over to pixelparlays.net. Link is in the description below. I'm the #1 NHL capper since November 17th. My NHL season pass still on sale for 4 more days. My best bet, dog of the day, and another play are all up in a 3-game package over on the site. But thank you guys for watching. Best of luck on this NHL slate, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode. Picks on Net, NHL picks and predictions. Best of luck, everyone.